Tonight on News 5 Live, the Christian Workers Union meets and the Port of Belize meets with the Ministry of Labor. The tripartite seeks to resolve an impasse between stevedores and their employer. Minister of Education Francis Fonseca says he was surprised that BNTU's president-elect was being undermined by her colleagues. Is there a water crisis in the north? And in tonight's episode of Belize on Real, BDF soldiers return home from participating in the King's coronation. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Whether you're in a bustling urban area or a tranquil rural community, connectivity matters. Internet access is key to continued socioeconomic development. That is why Digi, our national telecom, has and will continue to invest millions of dollars to expand its mobile and fiber networks throughout Belize. Thousands of mobile users and households, especially along the highways and in rural communities, are now enjoying the benefits of Digi's resilient infrastructure. Our national telecom will continue to lead the charge towards digital transformation by utilizing cutting-edge technology and maintaining an unwavering dedication to excellence. With our DigiWallet solution, Belizeans in urban and rural areas now have easy and safe access to a wide array of financial services via their mobile devices. And with the recent launch of DigiTV, Digi has made history, becoming the only quad play service provider in Belize. Now, customers can save with our DigiOne bundles that offer home internet, mobile, home phone, and DigiTV services all in one place. Digi is committed to providing all communities with access to high-quality, reliable, and affordable services while unlocking untapped potential and opening the doors to a brighter future for all. Be a part of the transformation and experience connectivity like never before. Because with Digi, connectivity matters.
It's that time of the year when we honor our moms and show them how much we love and appreciate them. Visit us at Cellular World and we can help you find a great gift for her with our Mother's Day steals and heartfelt deals. Show your love in a special way with our crazy discounts on great gift options so you can spoil your mom without breaking the bank. From luxurious tech products to stylish and affordable accessories. Budget phones as low as $59. Tablets start at only $149. Speakers as low as $45. TVs start at only $519. And laptops and Chromebook for only $499. Wireless chargers, smartwatches, accessories, and so much more. Visit us at any of our 5 locations in Belize City, Belmopan, and San Pedro. Or shop via our virtual store on Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp at 615-5141. Shop with us to find the perfect gift that will make your mom feel extra special.
You have been a safe driver all your life when an unavoidable accident happens. But this does not mean that your insurance premium must increase. With RF&G's Accident Forgiveness Program, safe drivers will not lose their no-claims discounts because of those minor, unavoidable accidents. For more information on RF&G's Accident Forgiveness Program, contact us at 223-5734. When it comes to motor insurance, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
Here's your chance. The stage is waiting. We're looking for talented Belizean singers for another season of KTV The Remix. KTV auditions will take place on Saturday, June 3rd and Sunday, June 11th, starting at 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive in Belize City. We're also now accepting online submissions. 2-minute videos can be emailed to producer channel5belize.com or DM KTV Remix on Facebook. Deadline, Sunday, June 11th at 5 p.m. Come be a part of the biggest singing competition of the year. KTV The Remix, only on Channel 5.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, May 11th. I am Annalyn Apolonio. This morning at the Biltmore, representatives of the Christian Workers Union, the management of Port of Belize Limited, and officials from the Ministry of Labor convened a meeting to discuss the way forward amid a logjam between stevedores and their employer. It's the latest development in an attempt to break the impasse that has come about after dock workers decided to return to the letter of a collective bargaining agreement signed between both parties. That decision inevitably caused a delay in service at the waterfront among gangs that were scheduled to discharge cargo vessels that called to port. Earlier today, the CWU as well as PBL and their respective legal teams filed into the Toucan Hall, where they met for the better part of 2 hours. When they emerged from the lengthy discussion, CWU President Evan Mose-Hyde was guarded in his response to questions posed by the media. Nonetheless, he said the sit-down was frank and meaningful.
We met and we had an honest conversation. I can't say much about the back and forth because they have asked us to be very anti-media. And you notice the attorney is right there monitoring everything I say. We will respect that request as long as the other side respects it. Obviously, if their position changes, then you will hear a lot more about the 2 hours. I think it's, no matter what the back and forth were, it is a good sign we were able to sit down, and there's been a timeline given for certain responses to happen, and we look forward to coming back around the table very soon. That is what we have expressed to PBL management, and that's what we've expressed to the Ministry of Labour. We have a meeting, we have been called into a meeting this afternoon by the Port Authority, and then we have a meeting tomorrow afternoon with the Chamber of Commerce. I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for making themselves available to meet with our team to hear our position. We understand Chamber's role and what they represent, but we still feel like we have to participate in these discussions. But I can't speak to what the details were. Of course, we have called out the Ministry of Labour, so we have to say respect that they have participated. The Minister, the CEO, the entire team was here. Respect.
On several occasions leading up to today's meeting, the CWU has called out the Ministry of Labour for its apparent silence on the matter. Notwithstanding a brief meeting last Friday with union executives, CWU accused government of taking a backseat in addressing the impasse. Earlier today, Minister of Labour Oscar Requena joined the three-way discussion and later informed the media that government's responsibility also includes facilitating the settlement of trade disputes.
It has always been our responsibility as the Minister of Labour to get involved. Whenever these issues arise, we have a responsibility to ensure that we play our role as a Ministry of Labour.
Sir, the union specifically has accused the ministry as the regulator. That's how they've named you, because they've said that the tribunal falls under your umbrella, that you've just allowed the PBL to float the ruling of the tribunal when that ruling is final.
I think it is important that I clarify that under the Settlement of Essential Services Dispute Act, that there is a clear mechanism. If there is under the grievance mechanism section, which makes it absolutely clear that if there is a grievance between the parties, that there is a process through which the Ministry of Labour is going to be engaged. So that was clearly outlined. Well, I think this is where we need to make the clarification that the matter of enforcement is not a matter for the Ministry of Labour. The matter of enforcement is a matter for the High Court. So if you have an aggrieved party who is not happy in terms of, how the ruling is being complied with, then they have an obligation to take the matter to the High Court for enforcement.
Do you see any near insight for this loggerhead between these two parties?
Well, I'll tell you what. This is a process. We have to understand that this is a process. And I believe that, as the ministry, we have, contrary to the reports that were made, we have been engaged. We have been, speaking to both sides. Last week, we brought both sides to the table. Today, that process continued, and we must continue to be engaged.
In spite of the gag order that all parties agreed to during the meeting, we asked the CWU president whether the impasse is any closer to being broken. While he would not answer the question directly, Hyde told reporters that sitting at the negotiating table with the Port of Belize is a step in the right direction.
I know that getting around the table makes a difference. No matter how much we're disagreeing, the fact of the matter is we're around a table. So,
operationally, the status quo remains?
Operationally, we don't know for a fact. We know what our position is, that right now we are abiding by the CBA.
One gang, one ship.
That's our position.
My question is, were today's discussions in relation to the redundancy package or not?
The conversation was about how to move forward. That's the best I can say.
How do you meet with people who have blatantly misstated the truth in a press release? They have blatantly tried to scapegoat you all on a falsehood, and also they have shown no indication that they are in a a position with which they seek to agree with the Essential Services Tribunal ruling.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not going for that one, but Jules, I have to just say that because of our obligations to our members' obligations to the public, obviously we cannot take a position that our feelings will get hurt, and and because of that we won't show up. We have to show up. That's our duty.
While he too is subject to the muzzling, the Minister of Labor says that proposals have been presented by the CWU. Those suggestions will be reviewed by Port of Belize, and a schedule has been established for PBL's response.
I am bound by the agreement that both sides, made this morning in terms of how far I can comment. Suffice to say that the CWU, presented its proposal again, and the PBL has agreed that they are going to be looking at the proposal. A timeline has been set in terms of, PBL's response, and in the interim, the discussions continue.
How do you look though at PBL as a corporate citizen? They have not appealed the ruling of the tribunal, and if I understood correctly what one attorney was saying, that the time for appeal has passed.
Well, let me say this. I would not want to comment too much in terms of the legal issues, but what I can say is that the ruling of the Essential Services Tribunal was very clear that both sides must come to the table and engage in negotiations, and I'm going to stick at that.
Coming up, Niche Interim President Marilyn Young departs. Find out the details when we come back.
Three years ago, I decided to provide respite care to young Jose who lives at the children's home. So now, during the Easter, summer, and Christmas holidays, he would come and spend time with me and my daughter at our home. Sometimes he even comes on weekends. We try to engage in as many fun activities as possible, giving him all the care and attention he deserves. Even though he is with us only part-time, he has become part of my small family, and we always look forward to spending time with him during the holidays. I could not have been happier to have made this decision.
Contact the Department of Human Services and find out how you can become a foster or adoptive parent and be that heart of gold.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the Split the Bill button where he selects the Evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
Your beloved Defenders invites you to this must-see game. Yes, Old Capital Sports and Muy Ono Resorts presents a battle so big you can't afford to miss this as your high-flying, sharp-shooting, high-octane Belize City Defender do battle with the San Pedro Tiger Sharks. It happens this Friday, May 12th inside the Belize Civic Center. Come see Mr. MVP Nigel Jones lead his band of brothers into battle as they look to secure the #2 position in this BBL season. It's our last home game for the 2023 regular season. So look out for extreme giveaways as we thank our Defender Nations for standing behind us. Fans, come out and get a chance at the 1-2-3 Vegetable Oil Challenge as one fan get a chance at winning $3,000 in cold hard cash. Official after party follows inside Shisha 8 Lounge. Tip-off is set for 9 p.m. this Friday, May 12th, Belize Civic Center. Your Belize City Defenders versus San Pedro Tiger Sharks. Tickets go on sale Friday morning at 10 a.m. Sponsors are Muy Ono Resorts, 1-2-3 Vegetable Oil, Honorable Anthony Mahler, Channel 5, Print Inc., The Tavern, Belize City Council, Body 2000, Premier Charters and Tours, Nocturnal, Madisco, Shisha 8 Lounge, Full Memory Photography, Smiling Meats, and Mars Rentals.
The whirlwind of events regarding President-elect Ruth Schuman's leadership role with the Belize National Teachers Union seems to have halted after the union's Council of Management decided on Wednesday to have her remain in that capacity. Schuman reportedly came under heavy scrutiny amid calls for her resignation based on past allegations against her. Schuman had tendered a letter of withdrawal from the post, but rescinded that letter on Wednesday. The Council of Management fully supports her taking on her new responsibilities as the elected leader. It is a position that Minister of Education Francis Fonseca also supports, as he told News 5 today when we spoke with him.
I'm glad that the BNTU has resolved these internal issues. I hope they will not, continue to be have any negative impact on their work, because I have great respect for the BNTU and their long history of service to Belize. So I look forward to working with the BNTU executive. The new president-elect will take office, I believe, in July. And so we look forward to working with her and her team. We've always, during my time as Minister of Education, enjoyed a good working, respectful relationship with the BNTU executive, and so we hope that that will continue. These are old issues that have been fully ventilated. I was aware of that. Mrs. Ruth Schuman has been a very active, effective member of the BNTU for many, many years, so I was shocked to hear that they were bringing this up at this point, when in every meeting that I have been in over the past 2 years as Minister of Education, she has been at those meetings forcefully representing the teachers and the BNTU very passionately and effectively. So I think she was rewarded for that, for her hard work by the membership. They recognized her leadership capacity and qualities, and they wanted her to lead them. So I was very, very shocked and really disappointed to see people trying to undermine her leadership so shortly after she had been elected. But I'm happy it's resolved now and we can move forward. And as I said, I look forward to a good working relationship with the President and the entire team moving forward, because we have a lot of good work to do together.
Marilyn Young, the interim president of the National Institute of Culture and History, NICH, has left that post, and the board is now looking to identify a new president to steer the organization. Young took over the reins in the latter part of 2021 after her predecessor, Sapna Budrani's contract was not renewed upon its expiration. While some say that Young's performance at the Institute was unimpressive, today Minister of Education and Culture, Francis Fonseca, told News 5 that given the challenging time during which Young held over, he is satisfied that she did her best with the resources that were available.
Ms. Marilyn Young was, as you may know, serving in an interim capacity as president of NICH. That term has come to an end, and she has indicated to both me and to the board that she no longer wants to continue. So that's where we are now. She is no longer the interim president of NICH, and we will, of course, identify someone to fill that position.
How satisfied are you with her performance in that period?
Yeah, I think people have to appreciate that we came into office at a very, very difficult time for NICH. The entire institution had been really closed down for 2 years. All its funding had been dried up because of COVID. The funding for NICH comes from the archaeological reserves, because the country was closed down as a result of COVID. All our sources of funding were dried up. So Marilyn came into at a very difficult time, and I think she did her very best to work with the board to streamline the organization, to make it more efficient. And I think she achieved that objective, working along with the board of directors that we put in place. So I'm very satisfied that she did her very best, and I think contributed positively to the development of NICH.
Are there any prospects in terms of Marilyn's replacement?
Not as yet. That's something the board will have to discuss, and then they will. I will discuss that with the board, and we'll make a final determination.
The perennial issue of flooding near downtown Belize City is being solved with an $11 million pumping station. The Ministry of Infrastructure Development, in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank and the Belize City Council, has been working for the past 5 years to construct the pumping station in the Yabra community. The project is a part of IDB's Climate Vulnerability Reduction Program and is nearing completion. It is expected that once fully up and running, much of the annual flooding occurrences near the downtown area will be alleviated. News 5's Paul Lopez takes a closer look.
This massive structure is a pumping station. It is downtown Belize City's solution to its perennial flooding issue.
Works on the structure began in 2018 and is expected to be completed within the next 3 months. All that is left to be installed are 4 screw pumps that are being shipped from a company called Landustry in the Netherlands.
As you are aware, we have 3 canals within that area. We have East Canal, which comes from the Halover Creek along Publix towards Caesar Ridge. Then we also have Collect Canal, which also originates from the Halover Creek near the fish market at Vernon Street. And then it continues straight towards the Caesar Ridge Road bridge. And then you also have North Creek Canal, which comes from the Central American Boulevard area and connects to Collect Canal. So the 3 canals intersect at Cott Avenue, thereabouts. So the idea with the pumping station is for us to get rid of basically the water within that canal as quickly as we can, so that it could relieve the water that is overtopping on the side roads and side streets.
In October 2021, Belize City received over 4 inches of rain, leaving many low-lying areas in downtown Belize City underwater. A case study done by the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center in 2015 found that there is an increase in the intensity and variability of rainfall in the last months of each year. The study found that these occurrences pose problems for Belize City, which is already prone to flooding. We sat down with Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner.
It's never a good situation when you as a resident, have to access out of your home and have to walk into water on the street. Sometimes you would have flooding in your yards, but when you have to access public streets and there is flooding, then that brings a really tough pill to swallow for residents. And I'm certain that with this new approach, right, and again the whole project is built on climate vulnerability reduction program, trying to change the narrative in respect to how we address flooding in different areas of the city.
The pumping station is separated into 3 sections: an open canal, the area where the pumping mechanisms are housed, and a sedimentation basin. When the 3 canals in Belize City become inundated with floodwaters, these sluice gates located along each canal will be closed to prevent the continued flow of water from Haulover Creek. Simultaneously, the screw pumps will activate and work to quickly remove floodwaters from within the canals into the sea. With over 100 years of experience, Landustries says its screw pumps are the most durable and efficient in the world, quiet and environmentally friendly.
Yes, it's the first time that we're implementing such engineering feat in Belize, and so it's a first for us as well. But definitely we have seen it being implemented in other parts of the world. I think in New Orleans you also have it. We've also gotten reports where we've seen it in Italy, because those are also areas that have flooding issues, and there are also other areas within Central America that it has been implemented.
I am very comforted knowing that it is not something that is being trial run in Belize City, but it has been tested regionally and internationally already. So we are optimistic, very, very optimistic.
Chief Engineer Evandale Moody is optimistic that the pumping station will function to the benefit of residents in the event of an emergency. Mayor Bernard Wagner looks forward to the prospect of such a solution. But a pumping station like this is not without its limitations, the greatest among them being the indiscriminate dumping of solid waste in city drains and the canals.
We're dealing with the bigger picture itself, which is the canal, and so the secondary drains needs to be maintained routinely so that those drains are not clogged up. Because if they're clogged up, then, and we're doing this major initiative for the canal and the water cannot get to the canal, then it defeats the whole purpose, right? So we have to have the buy-in from the city council itself.
This approach to alleviate flooding is not only a government issue or a city council issue or a ministry issue, it's all of us taking ownership of ensuring that we make sure that those drains in front of our properties are properly cleaned. The city council will do its part. We have a robust maintenance drain cleaning mechanism in place, but we still need our residents to participate with us, become a partner with us. Practice the civic pride. Don't throw the big refrigerator. We have found refrigerators in our canals, you know, ensuring that we don't throw the mattress, we don't throw the whole stove or the whole fridge in the canals. That type of behavior has to change.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
After the break, Nurse Cynthia Guild receives Long Service Award. We'll tell you about that, but first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Brian and Marta were arriving at school when they saw Teacher Lewis standing at the door, and when he saw them, he waved at them. The kids were both excited to be able to tell him about the things they had discussed with their parents. They quickly approached Teacher Lewis, who was supervising entrance of all the students to the classroom. Brian and Marta told him everything, and finally when they were finished speaking, the teacher congratulated them on the good job they had done.
Congratulations to both of you. You have done a great job, and today we will start with the planting of mangroves, which I can assure you will be of great benefit to all of us who live here in the coast.
All the students gathered in the classroom while Teacher Lewis explained the activity that they were going to do on the beach. He told them about the importance of mangroves as protective barriers against winds, protection of the coastline, and important places where the fish we eat and sell lay their eggs. Finally, the teacher asked the kids to organize in working groups, and they all left the school heading to the beach. On the beach, many people were surprised to see the children collecting garbage, collecting mangrove seeds, and sowing them in the places suggested by the organization that was helping with the activity in the community. Finally, after working for a while, Mr. Martin approached the group.
Teacher Lewis, can you tell what the boys are doing on the beach? Shouldn't they be in school studying, or are they now being trained in planting?
On the contrary, Mr. Martin, these young people are learning about measures to adapt to the effects of climate change, and by planting mangroves, they are learning about something known as ecosystem-based adaptation. In other words, using the benefits from nature to better adapt to these changes.
And do you want to tell me what this is all about? I need further explanation.
Sure, Mr. Martin. You see, my hotels here on the beach have placed breakwaters to prevent the sea from entering their property and eroding the beach, but that part, apart from being expensive, is not effective since the sand that accumulates in certain parts is lost in others. On the other hand, ecosystem-based adaptation seeks to use the services that nature provides. For this reason, by planting mangroves, we ensure by means of the roots to protect and recover the beach, preventing it from continuing to be lost. In the end, we not only preserve the beach, we also create shelters for fish and birds and protect the beach houses from storms.
A lot of people had gathered around Teacher Lewis while he explained all of this to Mr. Martin. Hearing the benefits and importance of what the youths were doing, several persons and entire families began to help clean the beaches and plant mangroves. In the end, there were hundreds of people working along the entire public beach. At the end of the day, it was observed that even Mr. Martin was helping too. He was seen arriving at the beach with coolers with water and food for everyone, encouraging everyone to keep working. Brian and Marta were proud to see how their actions were paying off, and people were becoming aware of climate change, supporting actions to adapt and take care of nature.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart.
It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Tour guides, your renewal season is coming up.
Please be advised that all tour guide license expires on July 31st, 2023. BTB will start accepting applications for renewal starting May 1st, 2023. Tour guides, we're asking you to apply early in order to have a new and valid license before the current one expires. To submit via email, you'll need a clear scan of each document in PDF format and properly named and labeled. Send your application with all supporting documents to tourguide@BelizeTourismBoard.org and include your full name and your tour guide license number in the subject line of the email. Remember to fill out your applications correctly, as BTB will no longer be accepting incomplete applications. Contact our licensing officers at 227-2420 and press 1 if you have any questions or concerns.
Over the weekend, the world honed in on the coronation of Charles III and his wife Camilla as King and Queen of the United Kingdom and the other Commonwealth realms. The royal rites of passage took place at Westminster Abbey 8 months after the death of Queen Elizabeth II on September 8, 2022. Now, since Belize's independence, we've always recognized a queen as head of the monarchy. In fact, she is even represented on our money. But now there is a king. The coronation on May 6 was a spectacle that many enjoyed from the comfort of their homes. But 4 Belize Defense Force soldiers traveled overseas to participate and returned to the jewel on Tuesday. In tonight's episode of Belize on Real, News 5's Dwayne Moody spoke with them about their experience.
The pomp and circumstance of the much talked about coronation of King Charles III was held at the Westminster Abbey and Anglican Church in London. And while the Governor General of Belize and other diplomats gathered for the momentous occasion, so did 4 soldiers from the Belize Defense Force who actually partook in the royal proceedings. 2 weeks before the coronation, they traveled to the UK, ready to do their part and represent the country.
We went there, we went for 2 weeks, and throughout that 2 weeks we had rehearsals. We went at different locations for the rehearsals. For instance, one of the locations that we rehearsed at was Sandhurst. Yeah. And then came one of the hardest part was the night rehearsal, because it was extremely cold. But it was good. It was a nice experience. 2 persons from Belize was chosen to be the Gold State Coach escort. And so I was one of the 2 which was chosen, and I was marching exactly beside the king.
Staff Sergeant Louis Gabriel is from Orange Walk District and is presently posted with the training company. He has been with the BDF for over 2 decades. The honor of representing the country at first came as a shock, but his training prepared him for the task at hand.
When I was selected as one, it was an excitement. But then my military training kicked in, where I had to stay calm and know what I'm going to do, represent the country of Belize and the people of Belize, and especially the Belize Defense Force.
The military that is in us, we are trained soldiers. That kicked in me, so that excitement went, and I started focused and get ready for prepare myself for the drill.
The soldiers spoke about their takeaway from the experience.
My biggest take is the people that we met out there. They are different type of people, different culture, and it is very wonderful to be on the other side of the world, watching different faces, meeting new people. It is lovely. It is nice to have that opportunity to be out there on the other side of the world.
Did you come close to the king?
No, I did not, but still, I'm happy I'm there. And for the last of it, when the king went inside, we did give him his 3 chairs.
Meeting new friends and getting used to a different type of temperature. It's summer for them. for it, it's pretty cool. That's the biggest takeaway. Also, like you said, the uniform was there, so we had to be immaculate in our drills. We had to know what we were doing and what was expected from Belize.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness hosted a Nursing Long Service Awards ceremony today in recognition of Nurses Week. Over 100 nurses were recognized for their years of service in the public sector. The event was held in Belize City. Kevin Bernard, the Minister of Health and Wellness, was in attendance. He gave the following remarks.
You know that it's not everyone that is in this room that could have been here today, but nurses on a whole, service providers, as I would say, you all have done an exemplary work over the years, and you all have well shown the efforts and the love and the passion that you have for this profession. During COVID, you all went home sometimes after days, after weeks, not seeing your own family. But you did it because you cared for your community, you cared for your people, and you cared for your country. And so as we celebrate Nurses Week this week, as I said at KHMH on Monday when I attended the opening service there at KHMH, while we put aside this week to celebrate nurses internationally, globally, worldwide, we must celebrate our nurses every single day.
Cynthia Guild, a career nurse of 45 years, was honored during today's ceremony with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Guild retired in 2013 as a clinical instructor, returned to service, and retired once again earlier this year. But as her colleagues explained this afternoon, she continues to give of her time and service to the profession. Cynthia Guild had this to say after receiving her award.
Look around. I see all my babies. And I feel so proud knowing that I contributed to you being where you are today. Firstly, let me say thank you to the Father who has kept me going for all these years. He's responsible for my health, my strength, my energy, because I could knock on wood now. So far, so good. I have maintained good health, and I have not been absent due to illness. And so when I am absent, it's because I feel like take a day. You know, after 45 years, and I think no administrator could tell me when for come or go. That is how I look at it. I might be out of order saying it, but that is how I feel.
When we return, government partners with UNICEF and GIGA to provide internet access to all school children.
Explore the great outdoors with Benny's Quality and Savings.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
LG dual inverter compressor cools air faster by operating at speeds as high as 120 Hz with more stability compared to conventional models. It also saves up to 70% more energy by operating at speeds as low as 10 Hz with more stability. It reduces torque vibration down to 40% for quiet outdoor unit operation. Stable operation with low vibrations also results in increased durability.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
School children across Belize who do not have access to the internet will be connected to the World Wide Web shortly. This will be achieved through a partnership between the government of Belize and GIGA, an initiative launched by UNICEF and the UN's International Telecommunication Union to connect every school to the internet. Minister of Education Francis Fonseca and CEO in the Ministry of Public Utilities, Jose Urbina, signed the partnership between the two ministries this morning. They were joined by representatives from UNICEF and GIGA at a launch event at the San Ignacio Hotel today. News 5's Marian Ali was on hand for the ceremony and filed the following report.
Representatives of UNICEF and GIGA partnered with the Ministries of Education and Public Utilities to support Belize's effort to provide internet access to every Belizean child. GIGA, a UNICEF International Telecommunication Union initiative, supports engagement and governance around schools' connectivity and provides technical assistance to map schools' internet access. GIGA's representative, Sophia Farrar, explained that connecting every student will place them on the same level as every other child who already enjoys having internet information at their fingertips.
1 out of 3 people globally don't have access to the internet. That is the equivalent of 2.7 billion people. Or another sad number is that nearly half of the world's schools don't have access to the internet, which is the equivalent of about 500 million students and young people. But we can think about the ways that internet becomes a connector with the students, the teachers, and also the community around it. And as GIGA, we really hope to work with you to kind of bridge that connection, to connect to the e-governance initiatives already ongoing, to think about how that school connectivity can connect to disaster relief and recovery. There are so many different use cases for this connectivity, and I think that we underappreciate the value that it brings to Belize.
UNICEF's representative to Belize, Alison Parker, explained that the organization is trying to make a difference because there is a clear disparity in the number of children who don't have access to the internet.
We could not re-emphasize or further emphasize why it is so important to bridge the inequities that have been so glaring as we emerged from the COVID-19 pandemic. It cuts across both developed and developing countries in terms of rural-urban, in terms of gender considerations, in terms of those, those most left behind, those affected by conflict, those from minorities and indigenous communities, those who've never been able to access the most minimal device or even understand what those mean. And this is a fundamental opportunity for us to bridge that divide.
UNICEF Belize, GIGA, and government have developed a work plan and have done preparatory work for the first phase of mapping. For their respective part, CEO in the Ministry of Public Utilities, Jose Urbina, and Minister of Education, Francis Fonseca, explained today how their ministries will work together to provide children with internet access.
There's a lot of potential, a lot of need. When we look at almost 28 rural communities that need electricity, we need to ask ourselves, how do we achieve 100%? Like us discussing how do we achieve 100% of school connectivity, we also need to look at how do we correlate that with electrification, because they go hand in hand. And how do we highlight the priorities when we look at which schools would be next? How do we relate that to the BEL expansion plan? How do we relate that to the ministry's perspective in terms of which village will be electrified next through PV solar or mini-grids, as we refer to it in the ministry?
Building a robust technology infrastructure across the education system is a key strategic imperative of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology. The aim is to make innovative use of science and technology to transform teaching and learning. The ministry has invested in training teachers to integrate technology into their instruction. However, many students are unable to benefit from this initiative due to lack of access to appropriate digital learning devices. Access to digital learning devices and, of course, the internet will increase the quality and equity of Belize's education system.
But if we can gauge how far along we are as a country in doing our part, Farrar said Belize is certainly ahead in the region.
I feel like Belize is going to absolutely beat that target. You are definitely ahead of many places that we work with. So we're so excited to work alongside you and amplify the incredible work that's already in progress here in Belize.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
The dry season has been unforgiving this year, particularly for residents in the north where wells in various rural communities have all but dried up. Despite government's efforts to assist with the water crisis, there are a number of challenges facing the Ministry of Rural Development. According to Minister Oscar Requena, government is taking initiative in addressing the water shortage.
This has been a very hard dry weather, and we have several systems across the country that have been experiencing a very low water production, the wells. But we have been very proactive as a ministry. In fact, if you see the work that we are doing out there, we are responding to communities, across this country, from Toledo to the north to the west. We have been going in, we have been airlifting wells where we need to do that, flushing them out. Where wells are running low, sometimes we have to go in and we have to, extend the pipe deeper into the well. Where there is no water, we have actually taken in water via the water bowser that we have. We are across this country serving our people.
Has there been any discussions with the Minister of Logistics and Utility to see maybe how some of these villages that don't have the necessary infrastructure to have BWS go in there, get them that necessary infrastructure?
Well, I will tell you, as a government, we continue to meet and to discuss. And certainly, for some of the communities where, it's more problematic to find a good water source, yes, there have been discussions to look at, the possibility of, BWS going in, to be able to deal with this situation. But it is an ongoing discussion and process.
Is there a drought in the north, sir?
I believe there is a drought everywhere. It's been extremely dry. And the truth of the matter is that, as a country, as Belizeans, we have to be more conscious of how we use water, how we conserve water.
Last weekend, the Ministry of Public Utilities signed a memorandum of understanding with Indian Creek Village with respect of a solar project that will electrify that southern community. It succeeded the free, prior, and informed consent of villagers in that indigenous community. But was Toledo West Area Representative Oscar Requena misunderstood when he spoke about expediting the FPIC process? He clarified the ensuring confusion when we spoke with him earlier today.
I guess it was misinterpreted in terms of when I said speeding up. I did not necessarily mean, bypassing any part of the process, but rather what I meant is that in some communities the process is started and then it is stalled, it is delayed. I believe that what has to be done is that once the process is started, that there is a carry through, that you go through every single step. Because at the end of the day, let's be real, FPIC is important. That is now the standard, that is the norm to deal with our Mayan communities. So we have accepted that and we are implementing the FPIC. But I believe that we also want to ensure that development is not stalled. And as such, once the process is started, I believe that it should be carried through, providing that it does not infringe on anybody's rights in terms of moving it forward.
Yes, but sometimes, because of these delays, it can be anti-development, because that solar array that you all inaugurated in Indian Creek had been there sitting
absolutely
without consent, and nobody can use it, and while the grass grows, the horses stop. People needed electricity.
And that's precisely what I meant.
Up next, improving the theater film industry in Belize.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Investment Services Explained. In September 1999, SSB's Mortgage and Investment Unit was created. The unit later became the Investment Department in 2005 and officially Investment Services in October 2007. So, what is the Investment Services role? How does Investment Services help to support Social Security and you? And why is Investment Services important to Belize? Investment Services' function is to make prudent investments in the form of commercial loans, shares, and real estate development. The interest income generated from these investments ensures the fund is sustainable to pay current and future Social Security benefits to its insured persons. The investment income is used to support the working population and pay pensions such as retirement and invalidity. Additionally, investment loans support economic development through commercial loans to startup and existing businesses while aiding in increased production of goods and services. We can expect Investment Services to continuously impact the lives of every insured person through Social Security pensions. Investment Services will continue to support the Belizean economy through secure investments in various industries. And that is why Investment Services exists. Social Security Board, an investment for you, your family, your future.
It's good to keep the environment clean. BSWAMA, step up the pace. They're going places to manage your waste. So make we stand and make well sure. No garbage left on the seashore. The whole of Belize we stay clean, cause we know say worth much more. We have pretty environment. So when you see the garbage on the ground, go off me and just bag it on.
Cleanliness has always been second nature to us, so let's work together to keep our surroundings beautiful and healthy.
No garbage in it.
Today, the National Institute of Culture and History, through the Institute of Creative Arts, concluded an acting intensive training. The sessions were conducted by Panamanian actor and director Jaime Newball. Over the past 3 weeks, 27 persons, including dramatists and playwrights, participated in the sessions. News 5's Dwayne Moody has this report.
A cohort of 27 persons successfully completed 2 weeks of intensive training in theater and acting for film. The sessions were facilitated by Jaime Newball, a Panamanian actor and director who is on his 4th visit to Belize since 2011.
The difference between the stage acting and the in front of camera acting. So we have to start first in an intro process. We have to start to build up all the characteristics of the role we are playing, and then afterwards start to have more natural acting because precisely the camera picks up everything. So all these big acting that we need on stage have to be adjusted because it's based on frame. We work in front of camera on frame, so it's not the same open frame than a small frame, or when it's very intimate, the scene.
The film industry in Belize has been growing. There has been a resurgence of plays being debuted at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts, and as we have seen in the past, Belize is being chosen as a destination for filming of movies and series. The training helps to build the capacity of the participants who formed the pool of talent for playwrights and directors to tap into.
This is one of the skill sets that we want to develop. We know that we have also here, located at the Bliss Center, the Belize Film Commission. Director Carlo Habet endorsed this training. It is our hope that, as more foreign productions come into the country, that they will be able to get cast extras. So that was one of the objectives for the training here in Belize City. The training in Belmopan had a slightly different objective. We are supportive and encouraging of the re-emergence of theater and theater companies. We need more theater companies to be active in that area of the arts.
The participants are from various backgrounds, some with theater experience, while others have been featured in film. News 5 got their perspectives on how the training has improved their craft.
I came in here as an observer to see what's going on. I've had a lot of experience in acting as Ozzy the Clown. I've been in movies. I've done a lot of stuff. So I came in to just observe and see what's going on, and to my surprise, I learned a huge lot. And I've been attending a lot of workshops in Mexico City, all over, and this workshop is what I would say the bomb for me. Yeah, it opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. I thought I knew about acting, and it just opened my eyes a lot.
I have always really loved writing scripts, and aside just participating in plays once in a while, but script writing is it's my huge passion, yes. And so I've been writing a lot of scripts, and I just wanted to see what it's like to be an actor. It's one thing to just sit behind your computer and write all these wonderful things, but then being an actor, I must say it's complex, and I have learned a lot, and I have also been able to incorporate it in something I've been writing recently.
I've been in the music, arts and culture for over 30 plus years. From I was a little boy at school in the Festival of Arts program, then joined the Pantemtel Steel Orchestra in music. I also do music in my church, and also now I'm a member of Jankuna Productions, which we are doing a lot right now. And for me, it is something that will improve the way how I see things in the theater and art and music. It will help me to improve on the way I place myself in different roles.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Annalyn Apollonia. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.